2023. Here's their live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. No excuses, just free picks. It's Jay Briggs' birthday. He's got the Rangers and the Cowboys playing on the same day and two different time slots. Man, there is a God, and he gave Jay the perfect present. It's like he doesn't have them going up against each other. It's a one TV situation. He's got one and then the next. The Rangers are on the road, so he doesn't have to worry, I should go to the game, and then, I got to get home in time for the Cowboys game because that's in San Diego or Los Angeles. It's just all laid out. It's got cake, all kinds of shit going on. Chris, how's it going?
Felt a lot better about the Rangers today until you mentioned that, because I'm pretty sure we saw this script last year, and I don't think it went all that well. But excited for a new week. Had a great finish to the week yesterday. Ready to start a new one. Got some great action all week. College football starting tomorrow. I'm excited.
How was the weekend? How'd you do in NFL? So Saturday you did bad, and yesterday you did good?
I did okay in college football. The nighttime saved my ass. Yesterday I think 5-1 NFL.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Did you have the Raiders?
I did not. I had the under in that game. Got a little bit tense after the safety. I'm like, oh crap.
I love betting against Mac Jones. Jay, what's happening?
What's happening? Nothing much. 24. Blessed to see another year. I'm glad to be here with you guys doing what we do. Great day of sports. Small card, but a big card for me. Winning day yesterday. 2-1 NFL. Hit Major League Baseball. So came out with a winning day and trying to stack another one. We talked last night on the halftime show. Mac Jones, terrible. No more undefeated teams. The power rankings, I still haven't came out with them yet. It's a lot of shakeup, and I got to see how I'm gonna break them down.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Yesterday was just one of those games. It's kind of like it's the same like college football, NFL. We're kind of getting to that point of the season where a lot of injuries, rivalries, all these sort of things going on. So the matchups aren't quite the same. Like, if it's the team that they had on opening day, well, that's one thing.
Right.
If it's the team they have now, well, it's a totally different story. A few teams have been able to get over it. A few teams haven't. We saw the Dolphins slow start yesterday against the Panthers, come roaring back.
Yep.
And I said this on our show halftime, and the Dolphins. You got to be okay with them, but at the same time, it's Patriots, Giants, Panthers, Broncos. That's 4 of their 5 wins. It's like are the worst teams in the NFL. But part of that, those teams are the worst teams in the NFL, is that they lost those games to the Dolphins. So it's always, there's always two sides on those, but those teams do stink. They're absolutely terrible. Yeah. It's, there's definitely no overnight parking. Read that sign this morning. Was out walking the dog. No overnight parking. All right. Thanks for letting me know. There's not like any no camping sign, just no overnight parking. It's weird. It's like, I never noticed that before. So in case anyone was wondering, there's none. No overnight parking. It was weird because they had overnight spelled as 2 words too. Overnight parking. I always thought it was 1 word overnight. But they had it as 2 words.
Hyphenated?
No, just 2 independent words. No overnight parking.
What kind of willy-nilly BS are they doing over there?
Especially like if there's not a no camping sign. So you can camp, but you can't park.
You can camp, but you got to leave for at least 5 minutes in the middle of the night.
No, they didn't say that. You could camp out in the parking lot. You can set up a tent, do whatever you need to do. You just can't park. You got to park somewhere else.
Gotta leave it at the gas station.
Park your ass somewhere else. So weird, man. It's like no overnight parking. Who's like going to check that? How do you know if it's overnight
Oh,
parking?
I'm sure.
Does the
There's
lot
somebody.
close? Like, how do you know they parked overnight? If how do you know they didn't just pull in at say they pulled in at like 2:55 a.m. and then would that be overnight parking?
Hmm.
Or is the lot just closed from certain hours? And why wouldn't they just say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, deep conversations on Mondays. Deep Mondays, man. So college football, um, Washington could be a playoff team now. We've seen them in the playoff before, and they got absolutely shellacked when they were the one time they got in. They got out actually to the lead against Alabama in that game. They scored the first touchdown, and that was all the cheering that we saw in that one. I think they lost about 165-7 or something in that nature. And I don't know. This is where the 12-team playoff really comes in. Is this year we kind of see all these teams that deserve to be in, and only 4 will make it. But next year will be the 12-team playoff. So I won't be here for this week's college football show, so I'll send my picks in ahead of time. I like Miami to beat Clemson outright.
There you go. So I was thinking about this yesterday. I know how we were talking about how
there's no overnight parking. What exactly that means to you?
That. But if we move to a 12-team playoff, right? So I can't remember. Did we say that every conference would have a team that made the playoff, even like Conference USA?
I don't think those guys made it.
They got to revise the rules based on what they wrote last year because of the diminishing of the Pac-12 and things like that. So they're gonna have to go back and rewrite it. But
no, let me explain to you how this works, Jay. The SEC and the Big 10 make the rules, and everybody else has to basically follow along with however that works. And then it will be primarily the SEC and Big 10 playoff, and they'll let one or two one ACC team in, one Big 12 team in, and it'll be Mississippi State will make it in over Notre Dame or something. That's how it works.
But if you had a team like Liberty that ran the table,
yeah, they would. It would be nip and tuck to see if they got in, or Wisconsin would make it, and Wisconsin would make it, but second place in the Pac-12, like Oregon or Washington. If Washington loses a game, Oregon passes them, or if Oregon beats them in the championship game, Washington wouldn't make it, but so Wisconsin would.
The question is, do you like the current 4, or are you going to like the 12 better?
I like 16, but I like it that it's done in a very specific way. That number one, the team that wins, it's kind of like the NCAA tournament. If you win the division, if you win the conference regular season, or if you win the conference championship game, you're in. So that way, at least, for the big conferences, they do it that way. The small conferences, if you don't win the championship game in the tournament, you don't get in. And that's why you see teams with losing records get in, while other teams, end up playing in the, the not in tournament, the NIT,
Yep.
So Iona, Iona would be in the not in tournament, and if they don't win their conference tournament, even if they're undefeated in the regular season, they might not get in that large, because a 9-16 Northwestern team will get in ahead of them because the Big Ten calls the shots. And I think there needs to be some sort of format criteria and all that stuff, regardless of how many teams are in. I don't think it's going to change the champion. You don't think that's no chance?
For me, I just think college football, more than any other sport, is any given day. So I think there's an opportunity maybe that there's a little shakeup, but you might be right. It might
I think
still be.
I think in the last 100 years of college football, or at least in my lifetime, so the last 95 years, there's maybe been like one scenario, or there's maybe been 5 times total, where even with just 2 teams getting in, there's maybe been 5 times total where they didn't get it right. Like out of all those years, 5 times, you can count them like on one hand. 2000 Oklahoma against Florida State. That year they got it wrong, right? Florida State should not have been in, right? That's one. And then I can't even think of any other ones recently at all. Since they've gone to the 4 team, I can't think of any where the best
The
team.
one with I'm going to my grave with this one. The one, but it's hard to argue it because Ohio State did win it. So that's why it's hard to argue it. But TCU and Baylor had legitimate arguments to make the playoff that
Yeah,
year.
but you're not going to get in the with a Big
I
12
know they
team
didn't
in
have a
that
championship
scenario.
game.
They're not going to
Yeah.
get in the big game either. Man, they expanded out. Believe me, they're still not going to get in. They're still not going to get in. It's like it doesn't matter. Someone's going to get screwed, and it's not going to be an SEC or Big Ten team. I can assure you of that. It's the way that it works, and it's like
You're right. I know. It's gonna be discussed.
so. I mean, it's very rare that it's affected. So the other times where the title game got messed up was when Michigan refused to play Nebraska, right? Michigan refused to play Nebraska, and they played Oregon in the Rose Bowl instead. We have a contractual obligation. And they split the national title, even though Nebraska would have wiped the floor with them. Washington split with Miami one year. Miami would have won that game.
I don't know why I'm. But nah, it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait to next year to see, just the first year of how it's done.
Part of me thinks they're just doing it so that no one has anything to say. Like no one has any arguments anymore. They'll be like, "Look, you can't say anything. We increased the field to 16." It's also for money too.
I think we may see some lower seeds, make some noise. Maybe not win the whole thing, but possibly get in because we know most of the rankings be flawed anyway. So I could see like last year when Tulane went up and like competed with USC, maybe they knocked them off in the playoff, or stuff like that. It may not affect the grand scheme of thing. Like I said, Georgia probably still wins the national title. Not saying like this year, but like you get what I'm saying. But I think it is going to make it a little more fun. I think.
I don't know, man. I think it's just going to, what it's going to do is take away some of these lesser meaningful bowl games that are lousy anyway, and at least add some better matchups into those games, more meaningful games. We're going to have less players sit out. And I think that's really the goal here is that these players that sit out, the bowls. And I think we're going to have a lot less of that.
Yeah.
No one's ever sat out a playoff game. So,
do you think they're going to keep the the bowl tie-ins a little bit like how they do right now, with like the 2 playoffs being like the Orange Bowl and the?
Well, they said that they're just going to be actual like
playoff games.
Yeah, so like the Rose Bowl is just going to be like
just a venue. It's not going to be an actual.
Correct.
I don't like that.
That what's going on?
that they're not going to. Well, they'll probably keep the Rose Bowl. It's probably like the Duke's Mayo Bowl they'll get rid of, and
We didn't get rid of.
No, they're not getting rid of it. It just is. It's just a playoff game. It's
Right.
just
Well, it'll rotate. It'll
yeah.
rotate. It'll rotate just like it does now. Is that so? It rotates now. Like they rotate now. So the Rose Bowl will just be part of the playoff games. And the way that I see it going, and I'm not sure if this is the way it goes, is that the lower level bowls, the ones that are the crappy ones, right? Those will be not the lowest of the low, not like the Boca Raton Bowl and all that stuff. Those are still going to be the same bowls, but what we'll see is that some of these bowls, and I'm not really sure which ones they are, and exactly how it's going to work, but those bowls will just become playoff games. And then as you get closer to the title, the Rose Bowl, the Orange, the Fiesta, the Sugar, and those games will rotate as to who's going to be the semifinals and the final. And my guess is they're going to add some games, some places, some venues to that, like Jerry World, which is, they call it the Cotton Bowl, which is now played there instead of the actual Cotton Bowl. And then they also have a Vegas, possible championship spot. So, I don't know, man. It's all screwed up. All I know is that we're going to get screwed for sure. Miami will get screwed. There'll be some hideous calls against them all the way. Who was the biggest fraud this weekend? Jay likes calling out the fraud. Who's the fraud this weekend?
Oh, no, this is my type segment right here.
Caleb Williams or Lincoln Riley?
Both up there. Let me just do a little. I think honorable mention is probably not the biggest fraud, but honorable mention, maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was hearing a lot of hype about them, how they might be a good team. And
they have Baker Mayfield as their
I know.
quarterback. I mean, how can they possibly believe that?
True. Solid point.
Do you think we're going to get a lot of opportunities to bet on Mac Jones any longer? Or do you think it's all? Do you think the heyday is over?
No, I think there's still some time. There's not a lot of it, but still some.
Let me see. NFL, I mean, I don't know. Let me look at college football. I see who just was fraudulent this weekend. Of course, we got to talk about Deion and Stanford on Friday. I mean, Deion, that was a fraud coaching outing. It was. To have Travis Hunter playing that many snaps, both sides, and be in single coverage first game back, it's terrible. That's terrible. Now, had this been week 1 against TCU when he's 100% healthy, I understand. But nah. You got to protect your players, man. You got to protect them. He was gassed. So that's one. There's a couple more.
I really don't want to say it, but I mean, actually, no. I was going to say I don't want to say it maybe Kansas, but I think Kentucky. I think
that's
Kentucky.
a good one, Chris.
Getting shellacked by Mizzou.
Yeah. And I granted, I think we all had Mizzou in that game.
Yep.
But it's like, for all the noise that was made about Kentucky, Kentucky, they're going to be able to make a New Year's Six bowl game, and they're here, they're going to come into the bowl season with one loss. There's something inherently wrong with this team. Devin Leary, they thought he was going to be the savior. He had all that great run at NC State, and they thought that was going to transfer to Kentucky, but there's something really, really wrong mechanically with him. Like, I don't know if it's still he's injured or if he just hasn't fully recovered from it. But on the other side, I think Mizzou's legit.
Let me throw out 2 words for you. Wisconsin.
Lincoln Riley.
Mordecai. Yep. I
I got 2 words to say to you. Wisconsin. I
Yep.
Boy, yeah.
How can you expect to win a game without scoring points?
Yeah.
Eventually you have to score a point if you want to win. How bad is Minnesota going to get beaten up by Iowa for Floyd or Rosedale? They had the Heartland Trophy. Did you see it? It was a giant bull.
Yeah. Yeah.
The gold bull.
Beautiful.
You like strong like bull.
2 more honorable mentions. Maryland, I'm done with them boys. I'm off that
God.
I was just about to say Maryland.
I'm off that wagon. They made me mad. And then Texas Tech. I promise you, I'm not touching them ever again for the remainder of the year. I'm done with them too. Maryland and Texas Tech honorable mentions.
I had James Madison against Georgia Southern. I gotta say, Georgia Southern is absolutely terrible as well. And I watched Army versus Troy. I had Troy in that game, and I gotta say, man, it's tough to win a shutout game and to be just feel like you've been terrorized, like in a game like that. It was just such a tough watch. It was a fumble fest. It was a slop fest. It was like just such a bad game. And yeah, it's just terrible.
I'll say the biggest fraud that won last week, that is, I think, just a season-long fraud. I'm going to go deep into the bag for this. So I'm going to go Toledo. Toledo, how many times...
They've been fraudulent all year, Chris. I'm kind of
they've been winning games, but I vividly remember they had to dig themselves out of a double-digit hole against Western Michigan, which is probably one of the worst teams in the MAC. They fell behind against UMass, had to come back in that game. They only beat Northern Illinois by 2. They beat Ball State last week by a touchdown. 1-6 Ball State team. So I'd say Toledo, and maybe could we throw Washington State in there? After getting their doors blown off at home by Arizona.
Yeah, that was bad. That was as bad as it gets.
I think Mitch was saying it in the in our group chat with Sauce. Had a feeling that that Arizona could bring some trouble. Didn't see a 30+ point win. They were up 30-6 at one point. It was just
Frauds of the weekend.
one more for me. One more for me for NFL for the season long. New Orleans Saints. When we came into the year, the word was it's Jameis Winston's fault that this offense sputtered. We're bringing in Derek Carr, a guy who has a history of slinging around in Oakland / Las Vegas. And what has this offense done this season? Jack shit.
Yep. I forgot the biggest fraud of them all. I forgot. This is the guy that I've been calling a fraud. We saw it transpire last night. They got lucky they won that football game. Josh Allen. I'm sorry. And the reason I'm saying fraud, he's still in my top 10 quarterbacks, but he's not 2, like a lot of people be trying to tell me. He's not 2. He's more closer to 9 than he is to 2, in my opinion. We've seen that Giants defense be lit up all season. Last night, you would have thought that they was the 49ers. So we've seen that Bills team struggle with some of the worst teams in the league. Lost to the Jets, struggle with the Giants. We'll see, man. We'll see. I think there's trouble in paradise up there in Buffalo. But that's it for me. And of course, Mac Jones. Mitch, we running out of time to fade him. Good old Mac.
I think we are running out of time to fade him.
Good old Mac Jones.
What's the matter with people, man? People send me these generic emails like, I want to be a writer. I want to be on your team. They don't even say, hey, Mitch, how do I become a writer? Hey, whatever. Or hey,
It's
you
just
guys,
that.
I have this great skill set, and I'm looking to utilize it. I think I could help leverage it with your team. Something like that's like, oh my God, man. And then I respond like in a way that's kind of like, well, you really haven't given me anything to work with here, and it's on me. I'm the bad guy. It's like, seriously, man. And the bottom, especially if you send it to the sports chat place email, because on that website it says become a writer or join our team or something on the bottom of the website, right? It says something like that. I don't remember what it was. I put it up there like 10 years ago, but I know it's still there.
It's pretty much the same as writing Mitch and just being like, me, Tarzan, you, Jane.
Seriously, man. It's like, do you think like you're like?
That's not going to go over if you want to be a writer.
I will say this much about myself, and people can say, "Oh, I'm glad I dodged a bullet with you," whatever. It's like, I'm tough. I know that. As a boss, as whatever, I'm tough. I know it. But I'm fair, man, and that's and I give everybody equal treatment. And it's like as much as I push people, I also have their back. So it is what it is, man. I've had a lot of bosses in my day. And I try and be better than any of them were, and I think I am. So I don't give a shit what you guys think. How about that? You can't take 2 seconds to find that link on the bottom of the website, man. It's pretty sad. It says we're looking for writers. It says it on the bottom of the screen. It's like, you can't find that? I don't care about your graduate thesis, man. That's for damn sure. Jay, you want to read his graduate thesis? You into that shit, man? It's your birthday, man. It's like there's freaking no overnight parking. Anyways, man, let's get to it.
Here's your present.
I mean, for the last time, there's no overnight parking. I mean, how many times I gotta say this shit? It's like, man. Guy's gonna do picks or what? My wife's probably gonna come in here. She's gonna be like, I'll wait till she's close by. I'll say it again. Cowboys Chargers. 28 minutes in, we get into a pick.
That's how we operate.
Ma, the meatloaf. I love it. Love it. Sorry. What's she doing back there?
The meatloaf.
Jay, you want to take it? It's your birthday. You want to go first on this one?
Short, sweet, simple. Dallas Cowboys haven't lost back-to-back games under Mike McCarthy since 2020. We don't do it. We bounce back here. We beat the Chargers. We're the overall better collective team. I think we apply some pressure. I think we'll be able to pin our ears back against this vertical attack offense that Justin Herbert and Kellen Moore are going to try to dial up. Well, I like my matchup between arguably one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, Dan Quinn, who's seen everything Kellen Moore has to offer the last few seasons here in Dallas. I just don't see it. Last time we said these two teams compete, the Cowboys got the dub. Cowboys get the dub here too. The Cowboys are king of the bounce back. One of the most profitable teams last 3 seasons. They get it done here. Land it.
I don't know about this game, man. I think I like the over here. It's weird because normally I'm not a guy that passes on a Monday Night Football game on my premium picks, but I think this is what I'm going to because we know that the Cowboys, at least as long as Jay's been in pick dogs, they are 0-1 on Jay's birthday. So I think that, do they go to 0-2 in Jay's birthday in this scenario? I mean, this goes back to like Rod's, 6-18 on, odd number leap year Tuesdays. Um,
In fairness, though, you got to look at that loss last year. It was a team that ended up going to the Super Bowl, and we had our backup quarterback and damn near got it done. So,
my favorite part of Rod's thing is like when you question him on it, you know.
Yeah.
When you question him on that something like that, it's just like he gets all mad, he gets all flustered.
What do you mean, Tom? What do you mean Tom Brady is 2-8-1 when he eats Chipotle on a Wednesday before a night game?
In odd number in months with less than 31 days.
He's 6-2 against the spread on a day that ends in Y.
Why?
We've been asking ourselves that question for. So, Mitch, are you taking a pass on this one? Or
No, I'm taking the over. I think that
taking the over?
I think without Diggs in there, I think the Chargers are gonna try and throw over the top. I think the pass rush is gonna be on, but I think they're just gonna have to spread it around, distribute. We got two really bad coaches here, so there's gonna be some questionable play calling, some questionable decision making. But I think it goes over the total. I think we could possibly have an overtime game here. It's gonna be a good one. I think this will actually be one of the more entertaining games of the weekend. You know, I didn't think the games yesterday were all that entertaining. I think the only thing entertaining was that like how bad can the refs screw us over to try and make these games reasonably close. I mean, they did it in the Panthers-Dolphins game, late call, you know, try and get the Panthers the back door. Then they did the same thing in the Giants-Bills game, tried to give the Giants the outright win, you know, calls that they weren't calling all night, and then they are calling, they're not calling, you know. It's like, man.
King of the bounce back, man. Join the dark side. Just join me. Join me.
I think my favorite bet in this game is actually it's a perfect live betting opportunity. I'll take the Cowboys in the second half. Justin Herbert, for whatever reason, he is terrible in the second half. In his career in the second half, 15, 34, and 5 against the spread. Fourth worst of any quarterback in like the last almost 20 years. And when he's had the lead at half in a night game, just in night games in general, 2-10-1 against the spread in the second half. So if the Chargers are up, no lead is safe. And if the Cowboys are up, I think it's only going to get worse. So I'll take the Cowboys in the second half.
Wow.
Y'all want to know my favorite play in this game, though, for real? I called him. We talked. You know, he had a long week of battling with the media. So I got a shirt on today, man. My guy CeeDee Lamb scores tonight. Not once, twice. CeeDee Lamb 2 touchdowns. I think last time I seen it, it was crazy plus money. That's where I'm gonna be at tonight. CeeDee Lamb 2 touchdowns. Bookie. Remember how Jamar Chase was talking, and then the next week came back at 3? Dak feeding him tonight. He get in for twice. He get in twice.
We move forward.
Oof.
Rangers and Astros. It was Rangers 2-0. The Astros, boy, it looked like they were going to do that 8th inning rally that they do. Jay and I talked about it at halftime, and boy, that was a hell of a. It was just the placement of the ball, just 10 feet to the.
Mitch, we should have stayed live for about 2 more minutes. You would have heard me scream at the top of my lungs. I swear to God. I thought it was gone.
5 feet to the right or left, it's a home run.
Oh my God.
Instead, it's a double play. And
Evan Carter.
Well, I don't think it was any kind of spectacular catch. I just think it was the formation.
No.
It wasn't.
Yes,
it wasn't like you laid out and dove or whatever. It was a routine fly ball.
It wasn't, though. You got to see the picture. You got to see the standstill picture to understand the greatness of the catch. I'm going to pull it up for you. You got to see how high he literally got up off the ground. Like this picture, I might got to get mounted. Like this guy.
What is that? Like, that's like 1.5 feet. That's like about as high as Chris can jump right there.
Look at that, fellas.
Yeah, easy.
He's maybe about 1.5 feet off the ground.
Hey, at that moment in the game,
What
oh
the
my
hell?
goodness, rookie
That's like
didn't even play
Ruffalo.
the whole season. Shout out Evan
That's,
Carter, man.
that's
He
like a
continues to
that's
excite
a
me.
Ruffalo jump.
But nah,
Catching
I,
strays
I, I
again.
thought it was
Shit.
done. I thought it was done.
Oh, we all did, but it's only because of the position in the stadium that it was in, and that's just
Yep.
that's baseball in the stadiums and the nooks and crannies and all those different things. But that the bottom line is the Astros didn't score a run in the game; they lost, and Montgomery pitched well. Doesn't mean we like him anymore. Doesn't mean we like him any less.
It's time to join the train, the Monty train, and I think he's done enough to become one of your guys. He's turned it around 100% since leaving St. Louis. He has. It's crazy to see. You got your guy on the mound tonight, Framber. What you doing here?
I'm gonna take the Astros to even it up.
Ooh.
I think that the Rangers dodged a bullet there. Eovaldi's pitched well, but I think for the Astros, this is a team that pecks them apart late, and I think Framber's going to battle with him. He's a big game pitcher. We saw it last time he pitched. I still take the Astros to win this series.
With Rangers need 3. 3 of the next 4 are in Dallas.
Yeah, where the Astros have absolutely mopped the floor with the Rangers.
Fair. I don't like. I'm like Chris Gubb. I don't like baseball's playoff format, but
it's 2-3-2. They change it around all the time.
Yeah, I think the NBA has it best 2-2, 1-1-1.
Well, it used to be that way. They change it around all the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the over 8.5 here. I think the runs are gonna come in this game. Like Mitch said, Eovaldi has pitched well, and I've been wrong on Eovaldi already once this postseason. But the Astros were able to get to him in the regular season. When he came back from the injured list, he gave up 4 runs in an inning and a third. Like I said, I think they can hit him here. But the Rangers have hit Valdez as well. 2 starts that Valdez has made at home against the Rangers this season. 11 runs allowed in 9 2/3 innings. So I think the bullpens get called into action early here. I'm going to go with the over 8.5.
I'm taking the Texas Rangers here, man. It's short, sweet, and simple. This team hasn't lost a game in the postseason yet. This team is undefeated on the road in the postseason. You have a Houston Astros team that lost more games at home than they won this season. We saw their ace get hit pretty well last night. Solid game, but I mean, gave up 2 runs, and ultimately that factored. Framber, we've already seen this guy be rocked in Houston, man. That was the game that's really sparked this rivalry this season. If you guys remember correctly, that's when Marcus Semien hit him and then hit him with the little, you know what I mean? These guys have been waiting for this moment. I'm taking Marcus Semien for a home run. Taking the Texas Rangers straight up on the money line. How can we not at plus money? Playoff Eovaldi, go do your homework on this guy. This guy has been absolutely dealing. I was in the building for his last start. Hey, this guy's in that mode. I think they send this thing 2-0 back to Dallas. And Scherzer on the mound, game 3. Ooh.
He's terrible this year. He is bad. He's a major fade.
This series might be over kind of quick, man. It might be
over kind of quick. What on Scherzer's resume this season makes him anything? I mean, he's been a joke all year. He's terrible. I'm a huge Max Scherzer fan. I have been for a long time. This season, he's a clown. He is a guy just going through the motions for the paycheck. That's all he's been.
Really?
He has not been a viable option.
He's had some solid starts.
When?
Let me pull him up. Hold on.
No overnight parking, man. 0. Zip.
But
it's out of the question, man.
I'm taking the Rangers here in this one. This one's fairly simple. So, but when I go look at Scherzer,
Max Scherzer's at his worst year of his career.
2 of his last 3, he gave up no earns. I mean, I don't know what you see. I see he's looked good since he's been with the Rangers.
How many innings does he go? 1?
6, 7, 7, 3, 7, 6, 3, 5.
Exactly. Straight ass.
But when was that last start?
Yeah, he's been hurt. The last start was in September, the 12th. And in that game that he got hurt, he went 5 innings, 3 hits, no earned, 6-3 win over the Blue Jays. So,
I'm just saying it's hard to just throw him in there in Game 3 of a playoff series. I know this is when
I don't think so.
you after a month off in the midst of a playoff series. That's my only argument. That's all. It's just a tough spot.
I hear you. I get it. I do. But I think
I'm not writing him off. I'm just saying it's just a tough. Yeah, it's just tough. That's all.
I'll write him off. Don't worry, Chris. I'll write him off for both of us.
You'll do it for us? Okay. You'll do it for the both of us? Okay.
Yes. It's okay because we'll argue about this. We got 2 days to buffer it out because tomorrow we got just 1 baseball, 3 college football. Is Sam Houston playing tomorrow? They seem to be a weekday team.
I think they're Wednesday.
Chill.
Like, when does Maction start? November?
Do you want to know?
Can we vote to veto Sam Houston from the show? Like, we just don't.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know who it's FIU Sam Houston this week?
Oh yeah.
No, I know.
That is the Mitch reaction that doesn't get utilized enough.
Oh man,
that needs to come back into the rotation more often.
So someone sends me. This is how they apply for a job. Hello, right? Not Mitch, not Pick Dogs, not anything. Hello.
Yo.
I am a graduate student and sports enthusiast looking to break in as a sports writer. I was wondering if you're still looking for writers. I am interested in a broad range of sports and would love to learn more about your team. Thanks, Brandon. That's what this guy writes me. I write back. Hi, best of luck with it. Unfortunately, you haven't given me even the bare minimum to work with. Spraying generic emails doesn't really work with us. Thanks, Mitch. I mean, so then the guy's mad. I mean, then he said I could at least respond professionally. Who in the hell do you think you're talking to? That ain't going to happen. Maybe tomorrow.
Do you know what you're doing? Guys, you got to at least do your homework on what you're getting into.
It's like, I mean, seriously, man. I've got more stuff like this recently from a variety of different sources where it's like, you clearly don't know me or know us. It's like,
have you spent an hour and watched at least one show?
Or at least 5 minutes of a show. I mean, we've spent 28 minutes talking about a sign that says no overnight parking. If one thing's come out of this show, we know that you cannot park overnight. Whatever that may mean. There's no parameters. Camping is okay. Randy Chambers. We'll send him to you. How's that sound? Randy's one that always has to deal with the guys. I always say, here, oh, you want to join me? Here's Randy. I was like, no.
Poor Randy. He's dealt with so much.
I always pass him to Randy and then complain about it. The way it's being handled. Yeah. I give him no
Feel
guidance. I give him no guidance, and then I just complain about how it was handled.
Feel bad. He's already got to deal with me to begin with, so it's like it's already got it tough enough as it is.
Are y'all only looking for writers? Do you need the web designers? We have a web design team, actually. We have a whole team of designers. It all depends on what you do, though. If you just do minimal graphics, like ads and things like that, YouTube thumbnails, things of that nature, possibly. But as far as like major web design, we have a whole team of people. So Not currently looking. I'm not saying it will never change. But if you do like ads and stuff like that, banner ads, things like that, we're always looking. Well, game 2 of the night, game 3. So what's the pick? Who the hell do you think we are? What's the pick? We don't do that here. It's not that kind of show. What was the pick? I took the Astros. Jay took the Rangers. Chris, who'd you take?
Took the over.
Chris took the over.
Typical Ruffolo.
Vesper.
Hey.
I don't know why Jay's laughing.
I already took care of that.
I don't know why Jay's laughing. God, Monday's the worst.
Yeah.
I got to get my NFL picks in earlier, man. I missed some of the numbers, and it really made me mad.
What happened?
Nothing. I just be missing the number. And it'd be the difference between a push and a win. Like that Browns under yesterday. Ew. I should have had the 36.5. I should have had the half. I didn't have the half. Push.
Nice. Did you hear the news? There's no overnight parking. She's not liking the bit. I'll tell you that much. She's sick of it already. We hardly even knew you. We hardly even knew you. I miss Malik already, man. I do. Saw Malik yesterday. It was like the game wasn't even over like 5 minutes. I was like texting these guys. I'm like, I kind of miss Malik already.
Here's the question. I forgot the question. Damn it. I was going to say something, and all I heard is I miss Malik, and I started thinking about Malik Willis.
Malik Willis.
Yeah. Oh, no, here's my question. Has you already gotten sick of the of the buttons?
For the last time, no.
Man, so the overnight parking bit lasted 6 hours. The buttons have lasted 2-3 weeks, and they're still standing.
This is the best. Nothing. I'll tell you what, man. I went back and watched the show like with Kyle on Saturday, and it's like they went on the air, and I was like hysterically laughing. He was talking about the naked and afraid, bro. I was dying, man. You're muted, Chris.
I went back and watched, by the way.
Did the public get crushed yesterday? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, they got smacked. The
they?
Eagles lost. The Niners lost.
Really? I was 4-2 yesterday for my NFL, and I'll tell you, I loved both those games and didn't give out either of them. But I love the dogs in both. We had the Jets in our circa picks for sure.
The Bills didn't cover.
We didn't have a play in the dog in that fight. Actually, Jay had the Bills in our picks, and I crossed it off. I only used his picks on our joint circa picks. I went 3-2 on my circas, but 4-2 on my site picks. I don't know, man. Freaking Colts. I don't know what else. That's the game that got me. Like, of all the games yesterday, it was the Colts, man.
Me too. I liked them a lot, too. I don't even know why I liked them so much.
That was my only game I lost.
I didn't even realize that the public got whacked this year because I won. So I was happy. I didn't even realize it. But I think most of our cappers did really well yesterday. I think the pick that got a lot of our cappers, I was on the other side. The two that got them, which was the Bucks and the Patriots. But I was on the other side of both of those.
I ain't have a dog in neither one of them.
Yeah, the Colts do suck, man. They're terrible. That Colts.
Onyx just busted your setup, just smashed the door open,
Yeah.
and then just left. Just pushed and poked his head in like, ah, crap, you're still in the air, and then he ran away.
That Colts.
Blew up your
I
spot.
just knew we weren't going to win.
Oh, there he is.
It's going to be the worst beat I ever had.
Yeah. Can you go shut the door?
Can't even close it behind you. The indecency.
Yeah, we haven't played it in a while.
That Colts, that fucking coach. I just knew we were going to win. It's going to be the worst beat I've ever had.
It's like I'm in the car with you.
That Colts. How about them during the Panthers game talking about what a nice guy Frank Reich was? It was like, nice of him to leave Bryce Young in there just long enough to get us the cover. Like, thanks.
That Colts, that fucking coach. I just knew we were going to win. It's going to be the worst beat I've ever had.
After that, it cuts out. She's saying, "Who am I?"
I mean, it's like she's known you for years. I mean, it's
Who am I? There's actually another version. Let me see.
Man, I think the easiest money we're gonna make all year is just to continue to fade the Chicago Bears.
I think fading Mac Jones as long as we can get it.
I think fading the Bears too. Mitch, I actually saw something very interesting about Mac Jones.
They sucked.
Yes, the stat is as an underdog, he is now 0-13 ATS last 13.
Yeah, I believe it. He sucks. He's straight ass.
So when they're supposed to lose, though, they lose.
Fucking terrible.
oh, and they're 9-point dogs against the Bills next week.
I'm laying it.
I'm laying it. Where's it at? Buffalo?
No, Foxborough.
Get in early. That's all I
I'm
gotta
laying
say.
it.
Bills coming off a flat performance. Patriots being the Patriots. We have to wait to see if Mac Jones remains the starter, though.
Regardless, I'm laying it. Two stinkers from the Bills. This the one they come out and just hoopla like they won the Super Bowl.
How about like Jay and I were watching the game? There's like this huge fight, and then it's like offsetting penalties, two guys after like a 10-minute delay. And Deion Dawkins was called like he wasn't even involved.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's the best one.
Yes. Well, give me. How about I like no.
No. No. No. N-O.
That one's good.
No.
And then
No.
that one.
No.
That's a Ruffolo.
No.
I'm with Jade. The yes, that was the one.
Yes.
I like that one.
And the give me a Y. Give me.
Yeah, baby.
That one gets a little bit awkward.
Yes. Give me a Y. Give me a E. Give me a. Yeah.
Or
I like that one. Yeah, that's how that would make
we
me
haven't
feel,
done this one in a while.
yeah, because Rod hasn't been on the show.
All
See,
right.
now I'm not the only one that's catching strays.
Well, Phillies against the Diamondbacks. I got a conference call in 12 minutes. Actually, I think it's 12:15. I gave the 15-minute buffer just to get everybody. Like the noon. I'm like, How about 12:15? We might have, it's Monday. We might just really drag 3 games out into to God knows how long. Los Serpientes versus the Phillies. Phillies a big favorite in this one. Big. It's 165. Chris, if it wasn't for bad luck, he'd have no luck at all.
That's why I'm going to take Los Serpientes here. Give me plus 150 with a team that hasn't allowed more than 3 runs so far in the postseason with their ace on the mound, who started to pitch better on the road. Yeah, give me Los Serpientes all day in this one. I love the value here with Arizona.
Miami Dolphins.
Los Raiders. Los Doyers.
Los, Bobby Hoyer. Bobby Hoyer.
¿Dónde está Mike White?
I gotta miss the Spanish NBA jerseys. El Heat.
Los Suns, right? Isn't Los Suns one of them?
El Jazz.
Los Suns. Authentic. It's kind of how about authentic Mexican food? People are like, oh man, it's like it's not authentic. It's like kind of like the Tex-Mex better. It's like you go to one of those like authentic places. It's like tripe over. Like I'm like, I think I'll take the barbecue chicken taco. I'm good with some guac. It's like way good with the Tex-Mex.
Yep. We got a lot of both good here. Both. I like them both too. You know what else I like? I like plus. I like plus money, and
Zach
I like
Gallen.
Los Serpientes tonight, man. Yeah, come on now. This is right here in my wheelhouse. Yeah, these are 2 NL teams that are honorary my teams this year. So I'm in between a rock and a hard place. But it makes it easier with Wheeler on the mound. We've been kind of picking at this guy all year. And what Mitch says is the truth. His last outing, he looked really damn good. They still lost. I can't pass it up here with the Diamondbacks. Same thing like I said with the Rangers. How can we pass up plus money with teams that have not lost in the postseason? Like, can't. Just can't. Taking the Diamondbacks.
Western Kentucky's ass. I'm sorry. I think Ohio State just scored another touchdown on them. I don't like teams that can't play defense. Like USC.
Starting to dislike basketball as a whole.
I had winning college football, winning NFL. I'll take it, man. If you could get both days winning, man, that's kind of how you draw it up. For me, it's always later in the season, the better I get. It's like if I don't knock myself clean out of the, everything before then, I'm usually okay. Jacksonville State has 0 pass defense. They can't defend the pass to save their lives. Well, Western Kentucky can't stop the run, so they're going to have some problems in that thing. Basically, Lincoln Riley is a fraud. It's a system offense. Do we have any parlays today? Do we have anything to talk about here during this segment, or are we just going to close it out?
It's short, sweet, simple. The J birthday parlay, man. Short, sweet, simple. I love y'all, boys. Rangers, Cowboys. Let's take it to the bank.
How about Corey Seager over how many hits is his prop? 1.5?
And if you want the props one, you can go. Let's go with
go total bases.
Let's go. If we're going total bases. All right, we're gonna go Corey Seager 1.5. He didn't look that good yesterday, but he's gonna get the Framber. Marcus Semien finna get the Framber, and I'm gonna go Evan Carter too because he got one of the best eyes in baseball. And then we're gonna go the CD Lamb 2 touchdowns. There you go.
Do we still have our Jacksonville State logo up here for the sauce?
Take it to the bank.
I'm sure I got them somewhere. My slide of Jacksonville State logos. We just happened to have handy. Yeah, I always keep my Jacksonville State logos handy, just in in case of an emergency. Oh, this is this one. This is just this one right here. I have one of all of them. Where is that one? Oh, that one's here. I got it. It's this one. Oh, you know, we didn't even go over NBA or hockey. Wow. Wasted all that time.
Let's see, you thought you got out of here. That should be the new All right, we just found the new background for the show.
Anyways, Chris, who do you like in the in hockey tonight? Let me put the thing.
You know, I didn't mention, or maybe I think I did mention this in the wraparound, but I think that you can make us. Yeah, I set you up for it because I figured you had to get your one in daily, your one reach around in daily. Yeesh. I think the Blackhawks are a live dog tonight against the Maple Leafs. You know, we're starting to see the Leafs get up to like a minus 400 favorite. I think in the NHL, these minus 400 and up favorites fall in any other sport, or they fall in the NHL more than anyone. And Toronto's got their backup goalie. It's not like they've even got their starting goaltender in here. So I think Chicago could maybe pull off the upset, but I go with the McDavid anytime goal and maybe a Connor Bedard anytime goal as well.
Some hockey. Hey, I'm not a hockey guy, but I will say I was hot last week. Hit the parlay. We took the Coyotes straight up on the money line. Hit that on the show. That's what I'm going to do. Every day I'm going to look at the hockey board right here on the show, and I'm going to try to give y'all my favorite dog. And Mitch, it's time to cue it up. I haven't seen you do it in a minute. Old logo.
Oh. New logo. Panthers.
I think
old logo.
I just realized I just said McDavid. I meant Austin Matthews to score an anytime goal.
There you go.
McDavid to score a goal.
I think the Panthers can get their first one of the year.
I'm gonna flip the coin here, the lucky penny on the Blue Jackets Red Wings matchup. Johnny Gaudreau's against the Red Wings. It's the Gaudreaus at plus 112 as the home dog is the winner. We haven't done the lucky penny in 2 years, so he's out of retirement. He's back. It is the original lucky penny, not like one of the fake ones or whatever. There's actually was 2 lucky pennies.
It's not the chocolate penny.
I have them both right here. And then I have Rod's substitute. We have the Rod one to be used only in Edmonton games. It's the one with the beaver on the back. Canadian money. So it's the Gaudreaus for the lucky penny today, and then we'll also do one for I like the Blackhawks, of course, against the Maple Leafs. And Birdcage. So we're gonna go with the Gaudreaus, Blackhawks, and Capitals. We're gonna fade Calgary every game this season and see where that gets us. It's a good strategy.
New logo.
Yes.
All right, is there NBA preseason tonight?
There is. There's 6 games.
Oh man, how did I possibly think we were going to get out of here in an hour? That ain't gonna happen.
This game 4 because Cleveland and Utah are playing. Foreign teams laying 40. So
that's okay. It never stopped us before.
It's not going to now.
Surprised what we'd cover. We covered simulated Madden. That's our claim to fame. We were the only ones covering simulated Madden games.
I wish I'd have been here. That'd have been fun.
Well, we were the ones that had the rating change from pro to what was the level? They had to change the level on the simulated games.
Oh, that was it. So It was
They had it like set on one
they
rating.
got you want to talk about getting rinsed. The books that were offering this got absolutely torched because they didn't know that the company that was running these Madden simulated games, they had the totals like legit NFL totals, like 44 and a half, 45 or whatever. They had it set to rookie, where every single play was going for like a 70-yard touchdown. The games were finishing like 51-48. And they're like, what the hell's going on here? They realized the settings were set to rookie, but they couldn't void any bets because everybody cashed out.
Yeah, it was Bovada. They limited us.
Yeah.
That was before. That was when we were allowed to bet.
I
at
lost
Bovada.
it.
Yeah, I was allowed to bet at Bovada back then.
That's crazy.
Yep. Said, you guys cheat. You won. It's like, nobody wins a simulated Madden games. Pacers against the Hawks. We got the Nets and the 76ers. I like there's something going on here with the Sixers. My guess is everybody's out. The line's going. Phoenix Suns, no Ayton in that one. They traded him away. Who'd they get for Ayton in that whole thing?
Nurkic and I just drew a blank.
And the Rockets and the Spurs are going. You guys like any of these? I'm going to take the Pacers, man. I think the Pacers have one of the best preseason rosters out there. I think they have a lot of walk-ons, late draft choices. Those are my guys. We got the all G League team here with the Pacers, man. I'm rolling with them. I love I love the G League because all my college basketball guys that I rooted for all those years, man. They all go to the G League. The NBA is a bunch of guys that we never heard of in college. The G League is like all the guys we heard of.
It's a lot of injury news. I want to take the Spurs at home again. I know the Rockets look like they've been killing folk, and they're trying to scare us with everybody game time decision for the Spurs, but I ain't buying it. I still want to take San Antonio plus the points, maybe even money line straight up at the crib. It just looks like a little sneaky spot to do so. So lean Spurs, and then I would probably lay the points with the Suns as well. The Blazers look like they're going to tank tonight. They haven't really shown me much of anything in the preseason. We've already seen the Suns beat up on them. They probably do it again.
Yeah, we're not here to judge anyone, but if you're looking for NBA preseason props, you might have a problem. I'm gonna take the Pacers. They're my NBA preseason team of the year. They're my lock. All right. Anything else?
A week from tomorrow.
I'll see you guys halftime. Jay, you got NBA today? Or NFL?
No, not today. No Monday. Be back tomorrow though.
All right. I'll see you guys tonight, Monday Night Football. See if Jay's in a little better mood than he was last year at halftime on his birthday when it was the Eagles. It was a tough day for everyone, but we did cash the second half on the Cowboys for that one. So
we did.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that this year.
Full game this year.
All right. Make it a winning day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to try and act more professional tomorrow. We'll read some more mail that I get. People tell me how unprofessional I am. It's like, stop brown nosing and get to the point. Someone calls me unprofessional email. It's like, stop brown nosing already.